I'm now live. Why I dey always make this mistake of not setting my camera to face me first? Why? New Year's resolution and deleting.
Your show is on Friday still, I mean. Keep it going.
Yeah. But I'm going to talk today tomorrow. That will not do this week one because I'm live. I will talk later. I think if he's in quarantine, in isolation, not in quarantine. She doesn't have it, but she's isolating just to save everybody else. She's such a darling. Post. Welcome everybody to 2020. I have not spoken to all of you since last year. Long time no see. Hey. I've been postponing this live. And one of the reasons why I've been postponing this live because I didn't know what to title it. But then, boom, it hit me. I've been using the hashtag a while ago. Delete the elite. You know, so I think that was what was holding us down. Apart from all the New Year enjoyment. You don't need crowd to enjoy your life. You can enjoy your life by yourself, man. Yeah, with your family and your friends. Not every time you have to go and show everybody that your life is good. And by the way, who cares? We don't even care. We are humans. When your life is good, we don't really care. When bad thing happen to you, let us know what's up. Tell us that one. That's the one we want to know. I ain't the sweet. That's why boxing and UFC is an interesting sport. Do you think human beings will ever watch a sport where we hug each other? Say, who is the best hugger? Who will watch such a sport? Say, hug yourself. But punch yourself. Everybody is in the stadium. Kill yourself. We are all there. All my friends like UFC. I keep telling them, why do you like this UFC nonsense? I see human beings because of money beating each other. Listen, this world, everything is. I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm the crazy one, or all of you are the crazy ones. But something is crazy. Something crazy is going on here. Yeah, man. Welcome to the home sessions. Welcome to the home sessions 2021. So many rumors flying around. Oh, police arrest Shehu. That's why Shehu they talk again. Shehu, I don't understand all this. And can't I just chill? Can't I leave? You know? Okay, I will later. You know, I'm starting my life. My friends are running away from the house. You know? They know that being around me when I'm talking now is no longer safe. Yeah, man. And also, good news of the year. I don't want to. They don't be like how they drop product placement, but this is my drink. You know, my favorite beer is in Nigeria now. We're drinking so much of it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So now, real quick, before we get into the nitty-gritty, get into the serious, deep conversations, I don't know if you've heard of something called the Movement of the People, MOP. I don't know if you've heard about this thing, you know, and also the Nigeria Resistance Movement, who are the young people, old people, poor people, rich people, Christians, Muslims, everybody that wants Nigeria to move forward, been working to make this party come to life. You know, Movement of the People is what we are doing to give Nigerians a platform that they can come and be their own strength, be their own power, you know. And that's why they launch Power Mic soon also. Look out for Power Mic. It's important too because, you know, they say power is with the people, but every time we're expecting the power to come to us. Me, I'm coming to you in your neighborhood, you know, and all of Nadisha will begin advertise and show ways when I think invite us to our own area. We will come host the Power Mic there. you know, for your local mechanic workshop, for your favorite booker, anywhere where you go down for your hood, Abegi, on that bridge, you know, that corner, anywhere where boys, anywhere where Nigerians, they will not be fair to come. Not be only, you know, this is what Power Mike is really about. You know, and this 2021, you know, I won't make, we not lose focus. You know, Nigerian people, we still have great task ahead of us. More no relax. So we Nigerian people need to how would I put it, get up on it, get up on the program, you know, make we use ourselves, make we use our energies, take liberate ourselves. We don't feel wait for these oppressors. Many people for NRM, they say make I begin do my live on the NRM page. Make I begin do my live on the MOP page. And I think say maybe I go do them because every time where they do this thing, now they go link up with NRM page, Nigeria Resistance Movement, or the movement of the people. I beg, make una go link up because my fellow brothers and sisters for the organization, they talk say we the people must also engage with the political platform, you know. So yeah. So what somebody asked, what do I have to say about Showere's arrest? It's bad. It's very bad. I'm not in support at all of the arrest of Showere. Abi, all the one where they talk for 2 days. What you want me to talk again? What do I think of Showere's arrest? I mean, anyway, if they part of what we will discuss in general today. So, New Year's resolution. People want to know the session. What's your New Year resolution? Yeah, we get MOP, we get for Instagram, we get for Twitter, we get for Facebook, you know, to answer KXMS official one, you know. So yeah, where I did now. People say, Sean, what will be your New Year's resolution? You know, and every year people they hooked up on this New Year's resolution shit, you know. I don't get New Year's resolution really. You know, I get life ambition, I get life mission, and every day, not every year, every day I try to get better at it. You know, one of the things where many people for this world, they stock up on, now, being good or being bad. You know, so many people want to be a good person because they feel maybe they are not good enough. And those that feel that they are too good are saying, this year I'm going to be a bit bad. I'm tired of being good to you ungrateful motherfuckers. You know? You know how we talk online in general. So, but for me, I don't really get this, how I'll put on, good or bad thing, you know. I know that spectrum. I know say all of us for this world, we get energy we follow us come. You know, Yoruba will say, Omo bigon, Omo buruku nojo tie. Yeah. So even bad people get in your own day. So all our energies are necessary. But now how we channel out. So me, I know say I get a lot of evil inside of me. Just the way I get a lot of good inside of me. You know. So my duty in life now to find the best way, say the evil way day inside of me, I channel them to the evil way day for this world. And the good way day inside of me, I channel them to the good of this world. You know. I think for me that is it. I try to match my energy with where it fits in the world. You know. So for me, I've never really been, I will be good or bad. Now mission for me, and now everyday thing, not be every year thing. If I did wait for every year to make this decision, I don't believe that the decision will blend. You know, so live your life. You know, 2020 did not do anything to anybody. You know, 2020 not just yeah. You know, waiting hurt us now capitalism and the bad policies of our government to handle the pandemic. Now it hurt everybody all over the world. 2020 didn't do nothing. And if we continue like that in 2021, it will be the same. 2021 will also be the same. You know, the years don't do anything to people. Just like people when they go around talk, say, oh, you know, like so many people about their centering themselves, their good energy. Everybody on Instagram is so positive. Everybody online is trying to just channel this positive energy to the world. But we in the world, we are not feeling it. All the positive energy of humanity is captured online. Everybody is projecting all this thing online, but in reality, on ground is not the same, right? All of us know, right? It's not the same. You know, it's not the same. So what we trying to say we're living life, everybody, I believe that, but we have to make we live our life, right? Is the best that we can offer or give to ourselves. You know, living our life is the best that we can offer or give to ourselves as humans, right? But what is the quality of the life that we want to live? Quality of life, they're important, you know. Shall we sure say those decisions what we they make in terms of say we are living our life? Now, the proper decisions. Many of us, they do things that we think, oh yeah, I'm living my life, especially as motherland people. And every time I see somebody where they talk, say I'm just living my life, the person is doing something that we should critique. And the answer to that critique is you are a hater, or you know, so everybody just wants to live their life, you know. But yes, living your life is important, right? But the humanity, you can live your life, but I feel the humanity, you must in a way try to project, you know, some certain essence to the world. I don't know how to explain now, you know, but maybe I cannot go there. Maybe that not be the real reason why I need to. Maybe we cannot deviate too much today into, you know, discussing essence of self with people. You know, this is a personal issue where people need to discuss. Maybe I don't get the right to come into your life to tell you that. But what you have to talk, we say many motherland people say that living life, I mean, choose self-destruction and call it living life. Leko King Kong, I see you. Oh, Leko, come now. If you say the come Lagos, it's Leko, you don't come. Many of us choose self-destruction as living life. I always say to people, say we need to understand the forces behind the decisions we are making. It's really important to me that we as motherland people begin to elevate our mind to that level now. We need to elevate our mind now to that level where we say we understand that our choices have consequence. No matter how little it be for our eye, there's a consequence. There's something that is behind. I mean, there's something that is in front of our decisions. Just the way there's something that's behind our decision. So what is behind the decisions we make? Many of us are so programmed that we do things and we think we're the ones that are the authors of these actions. But no, we are, you know, now programming. You know, many African people, due to poverty, living life the way we are forced to live life as motherland people, in abject poverty, without dignity. You know, then certain people come tell you, say, oh, your dignity as a human being, your status as a human being is tied to the amount of things you can consume or the material things you can afford. Then I understand how it is impossible or difficult for young people, old people, rich people especially, poor people, to see that in life there's maybe another way. You know, Because one of the things I say to young people, we say, I see many young people who will say they get good talent, they don't learn one work, where they pay them well, they drive a nice little car, but they don't feel fulfilled. Why? Because they are not comfortable enough, right? And the comfort enough is tied to what? That they cannot afford more material things. Now we need to understand why our lives are so dominated by material things. Now because these material things make the oppressors rich. So you see our down pressors here for Africa, where they keep us down, they make you feel like the product of the oppressor. The product of the oppressor, not the only way where African man fit get dignity. Because they have removed your dignity in your life. They've removed every dignity in our life as African people. So for you to have dignity as an African man, honesty no longer counts as something to be dignified about. You can be the most honest man in Nigeria and nobody respects you because you are poor. Love, you understand, is no longer something that can bring dignity to a man's life. Understanding, respecting your elders. Those things that are truly honorable in man, in humans, in men and women. Sorry, I don't like this man. I don't like using this representation anymore. Let's use humans. We humans, So what do we do in the world today? The elites of this world have put African prestige on those things that poor Africans cannot afford. On those things the people of Africa cannot get by themselves. You understand? So those things that are controlled by their masters, sold by their masters, distributed by their masters, they hoard it for themselves, keeping it away from us, right, as the token for your humanity. I don't think that's a balanced bargain to make. I don't think that's a balanced bargain to make as motherland people. We must now begin. Now this is a hard process. This is not a difficult process, and it's one of the hardest process. And for me, that is what a New Year resolution is all about. Changing your value system. We must change the value system. We the people, not the oppressors. You see, the oppressors and their beneficiaries and the people that they support and that support them, they can never see reason in what I'm saying here. But you and I, that are the victims of their actions, we must see reason here. Because as long as you judge yourself by those instruments, if those instruments in the hands of your oppressor, then you will never find your own historical value. You never find your own social value. You will never find, maybe you can discover your economic value by selling your soul to them, but your commercial value. Because one thing we must understand as motherland people is that everything African is of no value except it can be commodified. Do you understand? We live in an era where nothing African is of value except it can be commodified. Look at what Shell and other oil companies, Chevron, Egypt, and even our own local players, the Otedola, go and look at the things that they are doing in the Niger Delta. Ordinary Lagos, that they are doing one small oil rig that they built near the shore there in CMS there in Lagos Island. Try to go on the beach and the water there, the lagoon, to try and get to the beach. See, the water is already polluted there already now. But go to Niger. See, I went to Bayelsa. I've only been in my adult life to Niger Delta once recently. I went to Bayelsa to play a jazz festival thing, place there was water there, no matter how small, even on a gutter, even on a pothole, I'm not joking, and if I'm lying, let me not see progress in my life. There was oil pollution, even inside gutter. This is Shell and all these people in Nigeria, right? Why can they do that? Because they cannot own the rivers of Africa. That one they cannot buy, so it's of no value. That one they cannot commodify, so it is of no value. Anything African that cannot be commodified is of no value. So all Africans whose labor they have not yet trapped, all Africans who have no jobs are of no value. Do you understand? Because we as African people in this system of capitalism, our first engagement was as commodity. We were commodity. We were the commodity. We were the building block, the first commodity of international trade, big industrial international trade, to build the industrial age that we live in today. So now that we as motherland people have freed ourselves from that kind of commodification, they want to keep you buried under the economic system that commodification empowers. So now that they stripped our humanity through slave trade, the only thing that can bring it back is dignity. They've put people in power here to make sure that that dignity is never restored. So as long as that dignity is never restored, we as a people might not be sold in the market, but we are still commodity. That's why African culture is of no value to our government or to even African people. Why? To the world is of no value. Why? Because African culture, they've not yet found way to commodify it. The part of our culture that they can commodify: music, film, art, film. You understand? But African religion is not materialistic. It cannot be commodified. So it must be what? What must turn into the devil? It must be vilified. Made into the villain of the world. Even to especially to African people. And one analysis I've given us, that I've given to the people, that we must never forget, is that it is those same people that were willing to destroy their people, that were willing to kill their people for European interests, are still the ones in charge of Africa today. Them and their descendants and those in their circle are still the ones in charge of us today. Hence the game continues. Hence we, to now break from this mold, you must change your value system. As long as you are now also willing to hurt your own brother and sisters for these things and seeing it as your own personal progress, the way they see our destruction as their own personal progress, we cannot move forward. They cannot reach any kind of liberation. There cannot be any kind of freedom. We will take power 1 million times and we will continue doing the same thing. Look at ANC in South Africa. Look at how black people are living under ANC in South Africa. Go and look at us. After everything that they went through and fought, and even these people, some of the people in ANC today, what they went through, but they still agree to play the game. Why? Because they must be successful economically, commercially. They must also play the game of commodifying their people. If slave trade, because let me tell you something, slave trade did not happen to old people. No slave raider catch old people. Yes, they don't. No slave raider catch sick people. Slave trader doesn't catch crazy people. Slave traders catch the best, young, virile, fast, intelligent. Those were who they were after in Africa. Today, those same people live for free. They live for free. To go and make white man's country work. For the same reason they were taking them there. I know we will say yes, they pay your salary. They pay your salary. But let me break something down for you today about this whole salary. I tell people, I say, salary is nothing but wage slavery. Because slavery, the only thing slavery means is not that you are trapped, you are chained. Slavery is not working without pay. That's not slavery. Slavery simply means another man is in control of your existence. That another man determines when you wake up, determines when you sleep, determines the quality of life you live, determines what kind of food you can eat, the quality of clothes you can buy. As long as that decision is in the hands of another person, you are enslaved to that person. Brothers and sisters, there's no other way to explain slavery. If you think that because they pay you salary, you are not enslaved, my brother and sister, if we have agreed that selling human beings is bad, right? If we've agreed that selling human beings is slavery, is bad, I cannot sell my hand. Nobody will buy it. It's wrong. It's against the law. I cannot sell my ear. Even though people do it underground. All those organs selling is wrong. You cannot do it. You're not supposed to do it, right? Your labor is a part of you. What part of you does your labor constitute that makes it okay to sell it to another person for money? That's a question I learned from the great teacher Paulo Freire. And it has always been in my mind that it's true. My labor is a part of me, the way my hand is a part of me. My labor is a part of me, the way my legs are a part of me. So, what justifies me selling this part of me to somebody else? And what justifies the system that gives him the power to even buy it from me in the first place? So we modern people, we must break this yoke. See, if you're ever going to have a New Year resolution, if you are ever going to have a New Year's resolution in your life, let it be that you want to break this fake value system that they impose on us. See, it is imposed on you. You're not the one thinking it. You're not the one thinking that you need these cars. You're not the one thinking that you need this change. You're not the one thinking that you need all these things that they throw in our face. You feel me? They are the ones making you feel. See, because they put their agents. You're not the one that employs the police or the area boy. The biggest employer of area boy is politician. Not of area boy. Area boy, I say our area now. The biggest employer of thugs and hoodlum is politicians. The biggest employer of the employer of the police is still the same government filled with the same politicians. So when you see police attacking you for being poor, area boys attacking you for being poor, this is the system that you must be under that pressure. You must be under that pressure so that you can make the decisions that they need to take your soul. It is difficult to fight that fight. It is difficult to face that pressure and still keep your soul intact. It is difficult, but that is the only resolution I know. If you want to make resolution, New Year resolution, that you want to keep your soul. This year I'm keeping my soul intact. You think it's until one man, men will be laughing at girls that that girl has got to fuck one man for money. You two, you are letting them fuck you for the same money. Is it until you open your leg before you are fucked? Is it until you open your leg that you are fucked? They are fucking everybody. It is affecting everything in our society. Our young girls cannot see value in a young man that doesn't have those trappings, that doesn't have those commodities. And the oppressors are the ones that have it the most. And they are so shameless that they come and play with young girls. Then how else do you want young boys to compete if they don't start selling their soul? So it is a societal conversation It is societal conversation that we the people must have. Say our values. Yes, we want to live good. But I don't want to live good from the blood of my brother or sister. I don't want to live good from the suffering of my... See, this is a different thing than say, oh, if everybody is not enjoying, I don't want to enjoy. That's different. That's utopist. But I'm saying you can make the conscious decision that I will not benefit from the suffering of my brother. That I will no longer benefit from the suffering, the blood, you know what I'm saying? It is truly difficult for people like you and I to say we want to make these decisions because we have bills. At the same time, they pile bills on you. These bills, I've explained it, we've done this before. Check some of my live, we've discussed this. Bills all over our head. How? Do you want your children to be on the streets? Nobody wants that. So this is a tough life to live. The struggle ain't easy. Freedom isn't easy. But we must make the decision. We must make the decision that we want to free ourselves so that our own children will not grow up in bondage. So yes, nice things are nice. Fancy things are fancy. Beautiful things are beautiful. Yes. We love all those things. All these flashy things that they show us. Yes, man. But where we are greater is that we will not mortgage our humanity for these things. If we must have them, we will earn them. Because, brothers and sisters, earning material things is the easiest thing in life. I'm telling you, it's the easiest thing in life. Yes, you might not be able to earn the most expensive ones or like me, I don't think in my lifetime I will ever have a private jet. But at the same time, I don't think I will ever fly economy class again. At least not in the, except something drastic happens to me financially, or professionally. I don't see, so yeah. I'll give you a little analogy today to explain, and let me use the United States of America. Black people are in prison so much in America, for drug offenses. And many of the black people that are selling drugs, why? Because they want to buy fast cars, buy big chain, wear designer clothes. Where are they getting these ideas from? Where most of it comes from this mainstream hip-hop music, from this rap, people talking about it. I'll tell you for a fact today that not majority, let me not say all, but yes, a huge majority, maybe 90% of the same music executives that are sending this message into society that is encouraging this toxic behavior among African youth also own private prisons in America. Do you see the connection where they use their money to promote a lifestyle that makes young people do things that send them to prison, and that's where they really are as prison owners, making sure that their business is constantly fed by black people. Come to Nigeria, is the same thing. Those that are oppressing, our downpressors, control the media, control education, control religion. So every information that is released through these avenues is there to strengthen their position in society. And there's nothing I can say that can free you from their game or free you from their chains as a young person, as a professional, as a Nigerian citizen, if you yourself still believe in their value system. Because let me tell you, there's nothing that people have not used to yab me online. Oh, Sheon, you don't have hit song, you cannot sing. My manager today, last week, he heard one of my songs. I have a new manager. His name is Ayo. So Ayo heard a song that I made called Onwaye. And Ayo cannot believe that this song is not a hit all over Africa. Ayo cannot believe. You say, Sheon, can you have this song? And you never play this song? I say, I gave it to all the radio. What do you want? Now Ayo has put it on himself that he's going to promote this song. That everybody must hear this song. I say, good luck. Good luck, Ayo. Go and promote the song. There's nothing that has not told me. I don't have money and this or that. But the truth is, I'm really not suffering. But if I were to be like most people, I'll say, oh, because my fellow artists have all these things that I don't have, all these material things that I don't have, let me to go and do what they are doing and start misleading the people. But I will not sleep well at night. It's impossible. I will not sleep well at night. It is not, you know, I'm okay with where I am. You see now, where I will have a problem is if they were better musicians than me. And, you know, if they were better musicians than I was, or I am rather, if they were better musicians than I am right now, yeah, I'll have a problem. Say, oh, Sheon, you need to work on your craft. You need to become better. You need to practice more. Yes, that would be what it is, right? That for me would be where there's a problem. Looking at my colleagues, that, oh, this my colleague who is a better musician. But as long as I'm in the same musical league as them, professionally speaking, I don't have any problem with what my commercial, because I'm, you know, these are material things, you know. So yeah, you know, because that's the discussion in music industry. How many views do you have on YouTube? You know, they try to they say, well, I have 50 million views on my video. Oh, Sheon, your video has 1 million views higher. You know, your highest video has 5 million. I have 300 million. I said, I have 40 million. I have 100 million. There are cats. Do you know, if you go on YouTube, there are cats. Meow. With 500 million views. So what should I do to these cats? If I should worship you because you have 50, 60 million. The cat with 500 million. What should I do? Should I go and eat this kitty litter? The kitty's litter. Should I go and eat the cat's kitty litter up? I don't know. What am I supposed to do now? You know? Because the argument about music is never, oh, who is the best artist? It's always commercialized into, oh, who is selling more? As if that translates. You know, when we know that the same companies, that the same people that own, you know, that own the record label, own the TV, they own the radio, they own the distribution network. You know, they release an artist, they put him on the cover of all the magazines, play him on all the video channels all the time. I mean, they make him a star even regardless of the music. You know, they choose you, you're a star. You know, that's just the game. So, anyway, what I'm saying, basically, is that motherland people, we need to embrace values that are in our own control. Those things that you can work on in your own humanity. That must be where your dignity comes from. Your dignity cannot come from outside of yourself. You must be the one to live a dignified life. You understand what I'm saying? Because, and you know within yourself that you cannot live a dignified life if you are a toxic human being. If you have toxic behaviors, there's no way you can be dignified. If you have no respect, if you have no love, if you are not honest, if you are not caring, if you are not communal, you know, these things, these behaviors that is actually frowned upon in society today. Like someone that, you know, you speak the truth, people frown upon it. They say you talk too much. They say you don't know how to keep your mouth shut. If somebody say you want my armless vest, I can't. Oh, my very good friend Laolu gave me this shirt. You know, sorry, it's a gift. You know, it's rude to gift a gift. You know, so I touch on all that. I touch on all of that. Why today have I touched on all these little things, our generation, our value system? You know, it's because as motherland people, we cannot sustain capitalism. Many people say capitalism is good, capitalism is bad. It's not even my business anymore whether it's good or bad. What I'm saying is that we as motherland people can no longer sustain it, because it is our natural resources, our environment, and our human resources that are being depleted, you know, for the world to run this system. If it was the rivers of Netherlands that Shell was destroying like this, I'm sure Dutch people will not allow the Royal Dutch Company to continue doing that rubbish. Or Chevron was doing it in America. See, you remember the whole noise about the BP spill in America? There are spills that are 100 times that size in Nigeria that nobody is doing anything about for years. If it was Europeans that were dying the way Nigerians are dying from neglect, from absolute negligence. Look at the amount of our people that die on highways just due to bad transportation policies, people traveling in downfall buses without seat belts, without seats, without now they just put bench. You put a bench in a bus, they'll screw the bench to the ground and put Nigerians in it to be driving on roads that are not good, with trailers that are not serviced. And we die every day. Look at the news, just buy Punch. Every in one highway in Niger State, 20 people die today, 40 people die here, and everybody is just sleeping and waking up as if it's okay. As if it's okay. If people are dying like that, so that Dangote can move his cement through the streets of New York, so that all these oil people they can move their oil through the streets of California, do you think they will still continue this system? They will shut it down. They'll say it's not. But it's because we are the cannon fodder. Black people, our society, our environment, our resources. Are the cannon fodder. So, for me, I say that you must first of all make the decision within yourself. You know, to be great in that which you can accomplish, and find greatness in those things that make you human. That's the best thing I can say. Those things that make you a human being must be, because I'm surprised that in this world today there are people with influence telling people that to love other people is bad. Telling us not to trust ourselves, you know, and all those kind of things. When we need, in Nigeria today, there's nothing we need more than solidarity. There is nothing we need in Nigeria today, in Africa today, more than solidarity. And the people we love and support the most are telling us, don't trust anybody. If you trust people, you are a fool. And the truth is that it is only a psychopath that is incapable of, that can't trust anybody. All of us normal people, we must, whether you like it or not, you must trust. You must jabber for somebody hand. You must jabber. We must jabber. We are trusting people. You can't help it. But these things that we have that make us strong, they continue to use these, their agents. And I don't know why you people support these people. They continue to use these agents to tell you how these things that make you human is wrong. That you should not be behaving like those oppressors. No. So for me, this is my wish and ambition for motherland people. That we embrace our humanity. Our strength, our freedom, our liberation lies in our ability to rediscover that which has been taken away from us. Our humanity. Because that's why I see everything here. They treat us like animals, man. I tell people, everything in Nigeria except it is for business is neglected. If we have internet in Nigeria today, it's because businesses need internet. Do you feel me? If you have a mobile phone in Nigeria today, it's because businesses need phone. Anything, if the schools we have is because businesses need semi-trained human beings to answer order and carry file and do yes sir in the office. Anything you have in Nigeria today that the government has put their hand in is because business needs that thing. Nothing has been done for our humanity. For 60 years, no problem that affects Nigerian people has been solved. Any problem that will make us humans again. After colonialism, after slavery, imperialism, nothing has been done. Except it benefits business. Even the roads in Nigeria, are fit for animals and goods only. These are not roads for human beings. It's for goods. It's for goods. They have any lights that they bring, anything they fix is a business proposition. It is not to restore. The real duty of government is to the welfare of the people of that Anyway. So our humanity is constantly sabotaged. Our humanity is constantly betrayed by those that should protect it, by those that should help us rediscover it, nurture it. Tell me what problem that they've solved in 60 years that concerns. Is it water? For you to clean yourself and be a clean human being so you don't smell. Welfare, to give people that are not doing well in society some money so that they're not desperate. Do you think it is safe to live among 100 million desperate people? Is it safe to live among 120 million desperate people and another 60 million poor people? Maybe 30 million poor people that are on the border of desperation with them? Do you think this is safe? That's why every big man in Nigeria, they know what they're doing. That's why all of them, 150,000 of our 300,000 police guard so-called personality. They come to tell me, make I go collect police, security, me. I don't even have the money. I don't know where. Why do people think I have this kind of money? Why do people think this shit? I don't have this kind of. You know, because they know that living among the 150 something million desperate people is not safe. Nothing. So it is our own duty to rediscover our humanity. That's why they encourage all this toxic behavior in us, man. I'm telling you, they encourage lying, they encourage cheating, they encourage stealing, they encourage hatred, they encourage division. Whatever you do, that once you start behaving like a mad person, that's what they encourage. That's what they encourage. See me now shouting NRM, MOP. They've not come to say, Seun, okay, these things you are saying about us, these ideas you are sharing, these positive things, okay, let's give you 50 billion naira. Go and create one kind of center, a institution that all Nigerians can use to engage in this idea to create some kind of political, what? No, But say I go inside bush now, go carry gun, begin to kill innocent Nigerians. They will not come and say they won't give me 50 billion for amnesty program to turn me back, to make her calm down. So this brings me to the elite of Nigeria that make these decisions. Why is it that they only like to support nonsense? Irrelevant nonsense. In Nigeria now, one of the biggest business stories is the sale of Paystack to Stripe for 200 million US. And everybody, absolutely everybody, is losing their minds and praising those boys for the move that they made. Great business move, but terrible move for the security of our nation. First of all, Paystack is a payment interface where many of us, tens of millions of Nigerians, we have put our personal data into that company. First of all, they've taken that data, they've given everything to Oyibo, bam. And they have the right, all those accept and agree terms of condition that we've all clicked on, yes, accept to use the platform. They have every right to use those things. Why did this, professionals have to let that company sell to a bigger company? Because they know that for them to even become anything that they wish to become, they need to tap into the systems that Stripe controls. But we have people in Nigeria that are sitting on billions, tens of billions of dollars that cannot invest in those boys, that saw that Paystack there, but could not give those boys the money that they needed to move to the next level. But one girl came out yesterday, a bit 3 days ago, say Dangote has changed her life. When will Dangote change our own life in Nigeria? You see, now all you stupid Nigerians, before you see this man, all you men, before you see that you write proposal on that page, they still will not answer you. The girl says she used $500,000 open party. But Stripe has bought Paystack. Yeah, Stripe has bought Paystack. As Nigerian people now. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not capping for Paystack. I don't care. I don't send them because for me, all those kind of companies, before you get license, before you get startup fund, only God knows the amount of people that are on the board of directors with them. Let me not even go to that one. They will be telling us that they cannot invest their money in Nigerian people. Well, how can we be using our money to build any people should work for it. But people are opening 500,000 restaurants, owning 2 properties. See now, when I talk about socialism in Nigeria, when I talk about wealth redistribution, people think I'm saying to them, don't live a good life, don't enjoy yourself. Please, if you have worked hard for your money, right, and you want to be an asshole with your money, please feel free. Feel free, enjoy yourself. But where it's fucked up, let me first discuss to my people, we Nigerians, we professionals, we the people. Let's talk first before I give those ones the karate chop where I get for a now. Many of us Nigerians that are my age, 37, and then above, many of us are the first people in our family to even make some money, to buy car, to even see life, to travel, to live. Many of us are the first people in our generation, in our family to do it. Right? Many of us know where we are coming from. We know where we are coming from. And it is a shame that many of us become something in this country, anyhow it is that we did it, and still decide to make sure that those things that made us our communities, the way that they were when we were growing up, the way that they were that made us want to run away from there, we make sure that we continue doing those things to make sure those people remain like that. It's a shame on us. We. You feel me? It's a shame. Many of us become PA to governor, PA to minister, aide to this one, aide to that one, working in different banks, many of us, but we make sure that we now continue, we perpetuate the system that kept us in the way that we were that time. Talking about, when I suffer, who cares for me? Didn't fella fight to death for you? All of us as black people, let me tell you something. If you're a black man, don't ever say you are self-made. You have no right. No black man in this world can be self-made. It's impossible. You know why? Because I've said it in the beginning. You are a commodity in this system. You were never invited to be a part of the system. You are commodity. So for you to first of all stop being commodity, somebody die, pay the blood price. You go and left commodity. You entered into colonization. For you to go to school, somebody die. For you to vote, somebody die. For you to walk on the street as a free man and not be arrested, somebody die. For black people to be doctor, somebody died. Lawyer, somebody died. To use phone, somebody died. To anything you think that you have achieved, any door you think you have entered as a black man in this world today, as a black woman in this world today, somebody paid the blood price for you to be able to access that platform. So you are not self-made. You are not self-made. It's important, even though you be armed robber, 419, you was anything you think you are doing as a black man in this system, say, for you to be able to do it. Because to be 419, you need to be use a computer and phone. That time, no, 419 start, not be na letter. To be use post office, send letter to establish the basis of today, Yahoo. Somebody had to die. For black man to use post office. For us to sit down in our own homes, in our own country. I know it be mean of boycotters. I don't use the word boycotters in my house, Like, it's just the back house or something. Boycotters. Now then they put black people now. Black people are not allowed in the main house. For you to be inside main house, somebody had to die. You're too uncle. So it's our cowardice, our inability to pay it forward, to pay what was done for us. We enter the place, and instead of us to now remember those that allow us enter the place so that we can do what is necessary for the multitude stuck outside, because now still small, they open the door, my brothers and sisters, with they squeeze the enter knee, with they everything for black man life na lottery. Are you joking? As in, the number one job that all of you are fighting for as black people today is musician, actor, or sportsman. Prof, how many teams are there in Europe? Do you know how many footballers are in my neighborhood alone? There is one sport. For every one sport of this thing that we look for, there are 12 million black people fighting for it. Every sport. Everything in our life is lost. That's why gambling. That's why miracle, all these things are so prosperous here. Because you know that those avail is like a gamble, is luck. Are you joking? Everybody is gambling. Everybody is going to church to pray because you need luck. You know, one job in the... When government go announce, say, we want 1,000 immigration workers. You know, remember how many people apply? 5,000 jobs. You remember how many people apply for 5,000 jobs? Millions of people. Millions of people, bro. We live in a country where our elites spend more on girls than they do on taxes. They'll not be giving us charity. You see, this COVID-19 explains why charity is nothing. What we need right now in this country are functioning hospitals. Only government policy funded through proper taxation of the rich, the real rich people of this country. See, no, let me not not jump the gun. I don't give my people our own, come together, let's talk, huddle up. See, we are neglecting those communities just the way those ones we are talking about, huddle up. You know what I'm saying? So now, let me talk to those ones that are billionaires with no patents. Billionaires that can never patent, no patent, it means they have never created anything. Because you have to create something, then you can't patent it, that will not be, and so most people, they make their billions, where I know. No patent on anything, they've added nothing to our society, but they've extracted billions. So just like when I say, you can live your life, but you see, when that life you want to live is coming from the commonwealth of the people, then your responsibility to us can never be neglected. We must never allow. It's either the Nigerian government says to us, all Nigerians have access to all the resources in Nigeria. We all have commercial access. So everybody can go and find limestone and sell cement and make cement. Everybody can sell oil. Open it to everybody. Or that means what you're telling us is you want a few people to do it so that you want to concentrate wealth in their hands so that that wealth can be directed towards the development of Nigerian people who will understand. Nigerian limestone was not put in the ground by our ancestors so that one person can be a billionaire. It was put there so that all Nigerians can have roof over their head. That must be the first purpose of the limestone in this country. The first purpose of the limestone in this country. The first purpose of crude oil in Nigeria is not so that only one person's life will be moving forward. It's so that every Nigerian person's life will be moving forward. What's going on here in this country? All our land appropriated for farm, for billionaires, and they are growing food that Nigerian people cannot afford. Is our land put there so that we'll be hungry or so that we can eat? These are the fundamental questions. I don't care who anybody is. I don't care what anybody is saying. These are the fundamental questions. If your wealth is coming from our common wealth, then you must redistribute that wealth to everybody. Yes, I'm not saying don't compensate yourself. Compensate yourself. Live a good life. Have some nice things. But these people cannot be sitting down on the billions in money and assets that they are sitting down on, while the majority of Nigerian people are suffering. I'm sorry. It is just not right. And then they now give us charity. Charity is what brought palliative and isolation center. What we need are hospitals. New hospitals everywhere in this country. Professional equipment in all the hospitals. But we are getting tents. Isolation center. Imagine. Do we believe that these isolation centers and these hospitals can withstand this pandemic? It can't. It's impossible. Poor people are dying. They cannot even afford to test to know that they have COVID. COVID test is 50,000 naira in a country where minimum wage is 30,000 naira. That governors and governments are still refusing to pay in this country. And they have the audacity to charge Nigerian people for 50,000 naira for COVID test. To end the life today, my band leader died, David Obanyedu. And his wife told me that they arrived at the first hospital in the middle of the night and they rejected him in the hospital. Not even because they didn't have money, but because he was in a bad way. And they said they cannot treat that man. They rejected him. There are hospitals in Nigeria with professional Nigerian doctors and nurses that reject fellow Nigerians that even have money just because they are too sick and they feel they might die. Sometimes the job of the hospital is to give the living hope, rest of mind. That is the job of a doctor, not only to treat the sick, you treat their family, because it's how you are taking care of their loved one that will bring peace of mind to them. They rejected. He died in the car on their way to the next hospital. Those are Nigerian professionals for you. Now, let's just imagine that, David's kids grow up. Their father is not there anymore. Let's say it wasn't, linked to anything and they have a hard life. They grew up, there's a riot. Those kids go and burn down that hospital. One day, you see that they are hoodlums and thugs. Right? The behavior of the Nigerian professionals, the Nigerian civil servants. Listen, you people are setting terrible example to the youth of this country. See, that's why the Nigerian professionals always try to blame the youth for Nigerian problem. The youth have no resources, they have no job, they have no power. But you continue to blame them while you continue to work for the oppressor and behave like the oppressor every day in your office where you work. To project the down pressure on the society. Because the Nigerian professional, after all is said and done, this is 21 years of this democracy. Where is your support for the people? Where is your platform? Where is your political platform to help fight for the common man, to take away power from these down pressors? So yeah, in this 2021, and hopefully with the lessons that we've learned, you know, coming to this point, the things that we've seen, the failings of the system, not even our own weak system, even in the so-called first world where we all look up to, countries that have bomb to level other people's country, to bring democracy from bomb upon everybody else, but don't have enough beds to treat their own people during a pandemic. So we see that this thing is not an African thing. It's just that Africans are bearing the brunt of it all. You know. So my people, I'm really happy you joined to listen about my New Year resolution and what it's about. You know, it is not one thing, it's something. It is not one thing, right? I feel it is something. Something I feel like we all had to share. Let me discuss it with you. Thanks for still sticking in there. You know, now in 2021, I'm not seriously. That's why I don't say Nigeria resistance movement too much when I'm talking, or saying things like, how would I put it? Oh, MOP, movement of the people, or using this platform to, because I don't want to say, oh, it's me, you must join. But I'm saying to you that we all must start to eject the oppressor from within us, and also start our own process of liberating our people. You see, all of us that can afford this data, that can be online, we are the ones that can do it. For the rest, the majority of us that cannot. That's why we cannot be online. We must now organize so that we can go and meet them on ground in their neighborhoods. See, that's what happened in the NSAS protest. We organized online. Everybody that had mobile phone went there, and we behaved ourselves because we had data. We knew what we were supposed to do. But those poor Nigerians that didn't have data, they knew they were supposed to do something too, but nobody has told them what to do. So they did what they thought was right. Because they also have a right to show that they are angry about this country. So now we must organize to the level where we can reach them. That we can organize with them. Because we cannot do revolution for the people. You cannot do revolution on behalf of the people. You must do your revolution with the people. And whether a revolution we won't do, whether a politics we won't do, first we must organize. First, we must liberate minds. You are one protest that you do that will free you. You think it's one protest that you do that will free you from something that has been happening for 500 years, that has been ingrained, that has found its space? Brothers and sisters, we must organize. Because this journey that we've started, if we know that we have started it, is a journey that is going to take 100 years to accomplish. We will start something great that our children must finish, that their children will continue. Thank you very much for joining me again in one of my home sessions. You know, yeah, subscribe to Nigeria Resistance Movement YouTube channel, where we'll be posting a lot of videos this month. Hopefully by middle of next month, we will launch our educational program on YouTube for all members and all Nigerian people to go through it. Also, MOP will start unveiling their programs for membership, organizing and everything. And if you want us to come to your state, hit us up on the MOP page, on Nigeria Resistance page. Let's come and inaugurate the party where you are. You know, let's all join hands and create the Nigeria that we want to see. You know, you didn't speak about Sowore arrest. What do you want to say about? They will leave him. They will leave him. Sowore. What do you want me to say about Sowore arrest? Sowore likes to be arrested. You know, he can't help it. You know, but they will leave him. I don't think. What do you want to say? What do we want to say that everybody here doesn't know already? It is not. You know, Nigerian government is tyrannical. They brought 30 armed men to my own house. 30 armed men. They surrounded my house. You know, when me I avoid them, Shore's comrade call me a coward on Facebook. Shore shared it that if we don't do the MOP event at Shrine, while all the whole police of this world were in front of Shrine, that I was a coward. I say I went to do it somewhere else. It was a success. I'm here. I'm free. You know, so I mean, Shore will be free. There's no problem. See, listen, they will be free. Shore, take it from me. This is the game. You know, it is the dance. This is Shore's dance within the federal government. You know, this is their dance. You know. So thank everybody for joining, and you know, Shore will be free. I don't want any of you to be afraid of that. Trust me. If they try anything more than the usual dance, then the masquerades will come out. We can't keep quiet on this issue. Nobody is quiet. The whole internet is talking about this issue. How can we be quiet? Come on, guys. Yeah, Africa. Gotta go.